Where can I put this fucking thing at? Okay. So, I am very sick right now, dude. I came into the new year with a really bad cold. And good morning. Yeah, so trucking when you're sick, it happens. I'm going through it right now. I have not been this sick in a really, really long time, in like years, dude. I never get sick. I didn't get sick through the pandemic, and I didn't get sick even a few years after that. I might have caught, honestly, this is the first time I've been sick since like, Jesus Christ, since like 2019, 2018. This is like, dude, yeah, I never get sick. I may have gotten a cold, like a small one, maybe like 2 years ago. I got like a small itty bitty cold, right? But this is the first time I've been this sick to where it feels like you're just your body is just like, damn, you feel like you're dying. I haven't been this sick since like, yeah, 2018, 2019. I think it was 2019 the last time I was this sick. I was down with the flu. What when was it? It was probably 2019 because I moved out of California after I was working this job at the lumber yard, right? And I was down for about a whole week. I was for like 3 days. I was literally just stuck in bed. I didn't eat food or nothing for like 3 days. I was just in bed, and I couldn't even like move my body. I couldn't even get out of bed because I was so sick, right? And this is the first time I've been sick for a very long time. So let me tell you what happened. Okay. I was feeling the same way on Christmas while on the road, but I'm at home resting now. Yeah. As sick as I am right now, this has to be going around. Either that or I just caught something bad, but I'm willing to bet that this virus, like this, I know COVID was real or whatever, but I didn't get sick through that whole pandemic. I got vaccinated or whatever, right, for COVID-19, but I didn't get sick at all. And I was working, I was Uber driving through the pandemic, you know. But this shit right here, get your emergency packets and drink a lot of water. Yeah, so what am I doing? I'm doing this, Advil. I went and stocked up at the truck stop. Dayquil, Tylenol, Sudafed, NyQuil. The other night, dude, I took one of each. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing because I don't get sick. I don't know how to take medicine, dude. Like I never get sick like this. But I'm saying this to say this: living in the truck, you're still living your life. And what happens in life? Every now and then you get sick. If you're one of those people that gets sick a lot, it's going to be rougher out here because you're in the truck. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night and you're going to have to go to the bathroom, and there's no bathroom in this truck. There's no toilet in this truck to go number one or number two if you're sick, So you're going to have to literally, when you're sick, when you're really fucking sick, because it could happen, especially if you run OTR. Let's say you run OTR coast to coast, right? And I'm going to put all this shit back. Hold on. Let's say you run OTR. And so what happened with me was this. This is what's going to happen to you. It was Christmas or Christmas Day, something like that. Christmas Day, I was driving out, right? And I was feeling myself getting sick driving out of LA that day. I was feeling it on my voice box in my throat. I was getting a sore throat and my voice was changing. It was getting deeper, right? And, you know, congestion, little bit of a headache, but it was mainly just a really bad sore throat. And then that night it went down with the sore throat. You know what I mean? Then I woke up and I was just sick. And it's January 2nd and I'm still sick. Last night was the worst that it's ever been. Right? I got off work and I parked at Frazier Park Flying J on the Grapevine. And my body was so just done. Like I didn't go in the truck stop or anything, dude. I didn't brush my teeth. I didn't do nothing. I didn't have the energy to get out of my truck. All I did was I went back to bed. I went back in the sleeper and I went to sleep. That's all I did. And it was choppy because I have sleep apnea, right? I have severe sleep apnea. I got it a few years ago, like before I started trucking. I got it. Um, I just barely got diagnosed with it like a year or two ago, right? About a year ago. No, because I got it at JB Hunt. Yeah, so last year I got diagnosed and I got my machine, right? And with the sore throat, dude, on the first 2 nights, and even last night, it was choppy. It was choppy sleep. Like I fell asleep for like 3 hours. Then I woke up because then I also just had like my gums were just really sore right here on this side. And I was like, what the fuck? Do I got like a sore or something? And I looked and it was just my gums were just irritated, you know? And I think that came from this illness, from me being sick like this. And so the CPAP machine, how it's continuous air pressure that comes in, it was irritating my gums that was really sore to where it was hurting to have my CPAP machine on, plus the sore throat. And the CPAP machine, it was like, I usually sleep fine with the CPAP machine. I sleep the whole night with the CPAP machine, but with the sore throat, it was irritating my sore throat so bad to the point where it was choking me and I couldn't wear it, right? And I fell asleep with it like maybe 2 times last night, but the rest of it, I was just sitting back there resting, like half-ass sleeping, you know? So I'm off right now, maybe about 5 hours of sleep, like 5 hours of REM sleep right now. I'm good to go, but I'm not pushing myself today. But yeah, here's the thing, bro. Like, so that's what happened to me, right? And I'm just running out here in California. But because the account that I'm on, they treat New Year's Eve or New Year's Day as a holiday, right? It was like another Christmas. So I drove up yesterday. I drove up from Lost Hills to Stockton. I did the drop and hook, and I had to shoot back down to get as far as I could, close to LA, to get as far as south as I could, closer to LA. And yeah, last night was one of the worst nights, dude. Um, but I was still up on my ninth hour. I woke up at 2:30, and I was on the road by like 3:30, 3:45. Now I'm out here in LA at the customer right now. And dude, they're taking pretty long to work on my trailer. Usually they're really quick. Coughing up nasty green shit. A little bit. That was happening a lot when I was driving. I was driving and I was just honking loogies out the window. Like not out the window, but just like aiming at the ground, you know what I'm saying? Like not trying to be too much of a pig. But yeah. Yeah, you have the flu. You think I got the flu? I never had the flu. Yeah, you got the flu. Same thing I have. I thought it was just a cold. Good thing you're a dude. We piss where we want. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, fucking, you piss in a bottle. You're gonna piss in a bottle if you sleep in a truck, especially when you're sick like that. You know. Yo, brother, I have been wanting to catch you on live. For sure, appreciate that. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know, for those of y'all or any of like friends and family that are watching this that are looking to get into trucking from back home. Like I've had some friends hit me up from back home asking, what do they got to do to become a truck driver, right? This is something you need to know, you know. Uh, you're gonna be out here and you're gonna get sick, bro. Like you're gonna get sick on the road, and when it happens, you got to push through it because you're under a load. There's really no calling in sick like that because here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Say you work in a warehouse. They could pull someone from another part of the warehouse to come and help out with your job, you know. But in trucking, in most jobs, especially if you're on a small account like mine, or if you're working for a smaller company or whatever, or wherever you're working, it's hard for them to get another truck driver out of nowhere to cover your load. They literally might need to outsource it to like a third party owner operator or outsource it from someone else from another account. And that's hard to do, especially at the last minute. So that load that was supposed to get delivered, it gets delayed by a day, you know? And every day you call in sick, it's like you're really affecting shit. You're really affecting freight like that. And you're going to get sick. Usually, if you're lucky, you'll be at the house already if you don't live in the truck like me. But if you live in the truck and you're trying to stack money, which I've been stacking bread out here, dude. I've been stacking hella money, right? Um, which is another reason why I'm just pushing through it because I don't even want this cold or this flu or whatever I got to get in the way of my money. If I was so sick, like if I woke up this morning when my alarm went off and there was just no getting out of bed, then, that comes into like driving fatigued and all that. You got to call in and tell them, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it on the road today. I'm done. I'm dead. I'm sick. I'm dying over here, right? But I got some rest last night, and I woke up, went to the truck stop on my last hour of my sleeping berth. I took a shower, uh, had some oatmeal in the truck, and besides that, it's been this, dude. It's been crackers, 7 Up, dude, and Advil. I'm gonna take an Advil right now. Oh, it's right here. So yeah, this ain't one of those jobs, dude, where you just where you just call it sick. This is one of those jobs that when you're sick, it's like, okay, you're still good for that load, right? Even when you're sick, that's how it is. Like I got a whole vlog that I recorded. I just haven't had the time to sit down and edit because, dude, I've been fucked up. Ugh. I wonder if I got COVID because I felt like chest pains and a lot of congestion. I'm really congested right now. I feel like I got earmuffs on. My ears are my face is just so congested right now, dude. Ginger tea, drink tea, use Beckley's. Well, here's the thing: all this like drink tea and shit, dude. We're in the truck. We don't got none of this. Like this ain't no kitchen up in here. You know what I mean? And maybe it's my fault that I didn't stock up on this shit. But dude, I'm telling you, I never get sick. So I don't prepare for shit that I don't do. I don't get sick. It's just not a part of what I do. The last time I was sick like this was back in 2019, years ago, right? I had like a itty bitty cold, like 2 years ago when I was at my dad's house. But dude, I never get sick, you know. But yeah, so just understand that, y'all. If you come into trucking, you're going to be driving the truck when you have a cold, like when you have a migraine. You see, I might have the flu right now. I don't know. Someone thinks I got the flu, you know, and you're just going to have to toughen it out. But here's the thing, right? Um, God damn, they're taking so long with my trailer. Here's the thing about it, though, right? You're out here working, rain, sleep, or snow, or rain, whatever, and snow, rain, sleet, snow, however the saying goes, right? You're out here working all year long. You're not going home a lot like that. You're working when you're sick, right? You're working like a dog out here, but you're probably making more money than your dispatcher. You might even be making more money than your driver manager, okay? You might even be making more money than the HR lady at your company. So just know that like there's trade-offs to this shit. You're out here for a reason. You're out here stacking money and you're making more money than most people, even at your company, right? Besides maybe like some big time manager. But on paper and what goes into your bank account is more than what other people at your company see that aren't truck drivers. And especially, it's more money than the other truck drivers at your company that don't run as hard like you. If you're out here running hard, if you're out here making money, you're going to be out here when you're sick and you're not going to go home. You're going to be like the time you get to rest and recover from your illness is after you ran 12, 13 hours for the whole day and you get your 10-hour sleeping berth. And you got to be up because that load has to be there, right? Which means it's going to prolong how long you're going to be sick. Because usually when you're sick, you call in, like at a conventional job, you call in to work and you're like, hey, I can't go in today. I'm sick. And a lot of jobs have rules that you're not allowed on the property when you're sick, especially since the pandemic, right? They take that shit serious and they might need a note from your doctor saying that you're good to come back to work. But when you're sick and you're a truck driver, it's none of that. It's like, okay, you're still good for that load, right? And maybe that gets you a load to come back and maybe you could take a day off or whatever. But dude, if it's like a real busy time of the year, like right now, we just got out of the holidays, you're going to be running loads when you're sick, dude. And it just is what it is. I need to plug in. Bro, I'm getting married today. Wish me luck. Oh, that's cool. You're at work as soon as you wake up. Bro, if you live, oh well, not like you got to travel to work. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that too. That's a good reason to live in the truck. That's a plus. That's a benefit of living in the truck is that there's no commute. Like the commute is just right there in the sleeper to right here in the driver's seat. At least you're not in the office spreading it. You're isolated. I know, which is kind of crazy. It's like I'm wondering how the hell did I get sick because I'm never around people. I went to my mom's house this past weekend. Not even for the whole weekend, just for I was there for like what 2 hours, if that. I just stopped by to pick up my mail, and we went out and got dinner, and that's it. Other than that, dude, I've just been right here in my truck. The only time I'm around people is when I go in the office real quick to go pick up paperwork. But who knows? I mean, this shit's infectious, right? Someone could have left it on a door handle that I touched. They could have left it on a counter that I touched, and the shit spreads, bro. From Hanford, what's up, Hanford? Hanford in the house. Didn't you have a loaner truck? Yeah, but since Christmas, I've been in this truck. This week I've been back in my own truck. I mean, I guess I could have gotten sick from the loaner truck, but I got sick. I mean, fuck, some mechanic that was working on my truck could have been sick and could have been spreading shit all in my truck, you know? But I'm telling y'all, bro, as sick as I am, I think this is a virus, bro, that's going around right now. What's up, George? I'm in Lee Moore. But so, I mean, on another note, I've been thinking about what I want to do with all this money I'm stacking up, right? And I'm kind of leaning towards investing in real estate. I was thinking about becoming an owner operator. I was thinking about um, if I was going to become an owner operator, I would save up for like 3 years and buy a truck outright cash. I wouldn't have a truck payment at all. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about stacking for 3 years, right? Till I got like 100 G's on me, like 110, 115,000 on me, right? And then buying a truck cash, buying like a used Cascadia with like 200,000 or 300,000 miles on it, preferably 250. Buying it cash, and then taking that truck and leasing on with like, just because I'll be a brand new owner operator, I won't have like work under my belt as a new DOT and MC number, right? That I just lease on with JB Hunt or lease on with Swift or something for at least 6 months to a year until I'm eligible to go lease on to better paying carriers, right? And I don't know. What do you guys think about being an owner operator? You think owner operators? This is the way I think about it, right? Because I watched like I was watching like old Roadrunner Nia vlogs and Slime Pack 392 vlogs, and even at my company, right? If you become an owner operator, you could start a fleet and have your whole fleet leased on with the carrier, and there's a lot of benefits and perks that come with that. I want to talk about some game plans for the future with you, bro. If all right, yeah, go ahead. They're taking how long to unload this truck, so I got time for it right now. Because this is what I was thinking about, right? Um, I guess at Prime, and it might be the same thing here at JB Hunt, right? I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Anyways, so say I get leased on to JB Hunt or Prime as a new owner operator if I buy my truck full cash, right? I'll be coming into the trucking with no truck payment, so I'll be saving a lot of money there. I'll still have expensive ass insurance, especially because I'll be new, right? And but I won't have to worry about dealing with brokers because I'll just be leased on with the carrier, and I'll have my own dispatcher and everything, right? I'll get fuel discounts, all that. And as a brand new owner operator, I guess yeah, I would be making more money than a company driver. I'd be probably making like right now, I'm doing 14 to 1500 a week. I'd probably leasing on with the carrier. That'll probably be after expenses easily like double that, at least another 1,000 on top of that, like 2,500 a week after business expenses. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you lease on with the carrier, they do a lot of the budgeting for you out of the check they cut you. Like at Prime, I know they have the little escrow account that they put money away for like a maintenance fund, you know? And another thing that Prime does, right, is I'm signing with Prime and leaving hopefully next week. I want to talk about some game plans for the future with you, bro. Oh, okay. Um, yeah. So another thing that Prime does, like, so you get all these like, it's kind of like you're a company driver, but you're making more money, and you're in charge of like maintaining your truck and shit. But I'm willing to bet you probably get a little bit of a discount for using their shop because you're leased on with them and you're moving their freight, you know. And you could kind of pick and choose where you want to go, where you want to run. So during the winter, you probably have the option to stay out of the snowy areas and run just the south, where yeah, you'll run into rain, but you're not going to run into like crazy ass like black ice like on I-80 or whatever, you know. Slime Pack and Road Runneria here, those are trucking vloggers here on YouTube. You could literally get a truck, go to Prime, and they'll staff that truck for you and they'll keep it dispatched. And you'll just be in charge of the maintenance of that truck, you know? And you do that over and over again, you can have a small trucking company, a little fleet right there, all leased on with the carrier. And you'll never have to worry about dealing with freight brokers. You'll just be dealing with the carrier. Now, I know it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Shit's going to happen. But and another thing that people say is don't lease on with mega carriers. But if you think about it like this, right? Leasing on with the mega carrier, I mean, you ever heard the saying it costs to be the boss? I mean, if you're leasing on with a mega carrier rather than a small carrier, yeah, that small carrier is going to let you keep more of the load than JB Hunt, Swift, or Prime would, right? But they might not have all of the freight volume that the mega carriers have, which means you might not have that many options on when and where you want to run like you would at a mega carrier if you're going to lease on with a smaller carrier. You feel me? So it's almost like, okay, you're going to keep more of the load leasing on with this smaller carrier as a new owner operator. But if you become an owner operator and you stay just leased with the mega carrier, yeah, you're keeping less of the load, you know, less of the pay, but you have all of these options. You know, there's a lot of benefits that come with working with the mega carrier that would make your life a little easier. You know, I'm signing with Prime. What are you doing? The lease op? I wouldn't do lease op. I would save up for a truck. I wouldn't do like walk away leases or what is it, the boom payment lease, right? Where there's like that big payment, like yeah, lease op, to where you're making payments every week, and then there's that balloon payment to pay off the truck at the end of the contract. I wouldn't do that. I would stay company. I'd stack up, like I'm stacking a lot of money right now on this account, right? Uh, Go to a company where you can make a lot of money and run hard. Stack up for like 3 years. Get yourself 100,000 in the bank. Take that 100,000 and go buy a truck cash. Go buy a truck full cash. Not no fucking million-mile truck. Not no beater that's on its last leg. Nah, man, go get you a used 200,000-mile truck. Go get you a used Freightliner Cascadia or a used Volvo, right? And then take that and go lease on with the carrier. But then again, if you're realistic, another thing I've been thinking about is this, right? Another thing I could do is I could stack up about like 60,000 this year, you know. In about a year and a half, I could easily stack up like 60, 70,000, right? And if I really budget hard, I could at least save 50,000. In a year and a half, I could save 50 to 60,000, right? Somewhere in that ballpark. And instead of doing trucking, I mean, I'll still be a truck driver, right? But I could take that money and I could go buy like 3 acres and take out a business loan and put a fence and a gate and security cameras and throw down some gravel, and I can open up a drop yard. And I could charge other truck drivers monthly to park their equipment at my drop yard. I could post it online. I could make flyers and leave them on trucks at the truck stops. I could let my company know, hey, I got a drop yard, you know what I'm saying? And that's like passive income right there. Yeah, you're going to have to go and check on your drop yard, make sure your security system's working, make sure your gate's working, make sure there's easy access, make sure it's not all fucked up, right? And of course, protect yourself legally, like make these truck drivers sign a contract, like I'm not responsible for whatever, you know, get insurance. But I mean, that's the kind of real estate I'd get into. I would just buy land. And if not a drop yard for trucking, You could also make it a drop yard for construction equipment, for like contractors to leave their bobcats and their excavators and their scaffolding, right? And you could charge them space by space of where they're going to put their shit. And if you got 3 acres, you could make some decent money. And the mortgage on that, even in California, right? You could buy like 2 acres, probably run you like 150,000, 2 or 3 acres, 150, 160,000, because it's just land, right? There's no house on it. It's just straight up land. And you could turn that into a little business. You could turn it into a drop yard. And that'll be a lot easier and less stressful than being an owner operator. Another thing I would do is I would save up some cash reserve to pay off the mortgage and the insurances on that business for the first 6 months while I'm building up clientele for my drop yard. But dude, that's a lot easier. Because think about it, right? A lot of people want to become owner operators, and a lot of people want to become, fleet owners. But you got to think about this, right? What if you hire a truck driver to drive one of your trucks, and the motherfucker gets into a wreck and kills someone? Who is on the hook? You. If I open up a drop yard and I make them sign a document saying I'm not responsible for any of your dumb shit you do on my drop yard, just give me the money. This is a place for you to park. And if someone breaks into your shit, I'm not responsible for that either. But there's security cameras, right? And I'll give you the footage. But this is just a drop yard. You know what I'm saying? Park at your own risk. And here's the fee. Boom. Just straightforward. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got to come out here. I think he banged on my trailer, but oh yeah, they're still working on it. Davey's got that big ass forklift in the truck. I thought they were just doing a pallet jack, the electric jack. No, he's pulling the whole forklift back there. Okay. Right? Yep. Yeah, he put the whole forklift back there. So yeah, that's just, or you could save up for like a year or two and go buy a house and deal with tenants. But me, dude, you could always just buy land, even in California. It's a lot easier to just buy land and make a business off of just some land, right? Than it is, buying a house, dealing with homeowners insurance, and everything's going up. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the high closing costs because it's a fucking house. And the high cost of living, dude. So you're dealing with like homes that are $300,000 or $400,000 or $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, which you could save up for a down payment for as a truck driver and turn around and rent it out. But then you're dealing with tenants, and then they break shit. They break shit like the toilet. Shit starts leaking. The water heater breaks. And now they just made this law that if you're going to rent out to tenants, you have to provide a fully functional refrigerator and a stove. I know you got to, in 2026, a new law in California, you got to provide your tenants a fridge, and I think it's a stove. Right? Fuck all that. I'd rather just buy land. Buy land, make a drop yard, rinse and repeat up and down the state, out of state. And let's think about it, right? You charge each truck $200 to $300 a month to park at your drop yard, and you buy 3 acres, so you can easily get 30 trucks in there. It's like $9,000 a month right there on a piece of land. And then you take out your business costs. Let's say it's like 30-40%. Well, you're still left with like 5 or 6 G's at the end of the day, after taxes, insurance, and the mortgage on it, and whatever business loan you got to pay back, right? Even if you're left with 4 G's, dude, that's 4 G's of profit in your pocket after you paid off the mortgage and all that. You can, stack up money for another down payment and even take out some of that equity Go buy another drop yard, right? Because let's say AI does take over trucking. Well, AI is not going to take over construction, and contractors always need to find somewhere to put their equipment. And if you could give them a reasonable rate with enough land, then you're in business, dude. So, I mean, if not that, then I guess, there's other shit that you could invest your money in too. So those are the two things I've been thinking about: either becoming an owner operator, which I mean, it's doable. Man, it's just such a fucking headache to become an owner operator, dude. I watch Tommy Trucking Unfiltered, Just Trucking, Road Running Nia, Slime Pack 392, and that shit doesn't look desirable, bro. That shit looks awful being an owner operator. The only cool part about it is like your truck is like your home, and you could decorate it how you want, and you could trick it out. But other than that, dude, you're fucking dealing with a lot of bullshit, and you're not. A lot of the times, you're not making good money. You know what I'm saying? And your truck breaks down, or something happens with the trailer, and you're stuck in the shop and you're losing money. I'd rather just invest in real estate. You know. And then, especially if you start your own fleet, then you got to worry about one of your drivers getting into a horrific accident, and fucking killing people on the road, right? Like that's always over your head. If you just own a piece of real estate, just flat land, and you turned it into a drop yard parking business for construction or trucking, are you really at home stressing? Especially if there's nothing to like burn, right? Like there's no structure that could catch fire. It's just land. I mean, what are you really tripping off of? Is especially if you protected yourself legally, that you're not on the hook for any of their dumb accidents. I mean, that seems a lot easier and a lot more profitable to invest in real estate than to go out and buy your own truck and become an owner operator and try and start your own trucking business, which could end in a catastrophe, which could end with fucking the driver that you hire going out there on the road and fucking killing somebody. You know, you always got to think about that. Like I get guys in the comments, right? Like this one dude, he was talking about how he started hauling fuel and he became an owner operator hauling fuel, and he hired 4 drivers and he's paying them $100,000 each. Yeah, that's all fun and dandy, and I'm sure this cat's making big fucking money. But when he goes to sleep at night, he always has to think, like, damn, are one of my drivers gonna fucking tip over the truck today and cause like some nuclear explosion on the highway in the fuel tank that they're hauling and fucking kill everyone on the highway, you know? Or is it going to be a good week? It's most likely going to be a good week, but just that horrific thought of something going wrong with your staff. Oh man, it's just I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, becoming an owner operator, yeah, it sounds cool, but I don't know. You always got to think about you. I always try to think about, okay, so what's the absolute worst thing that could happen? Even when I'm driving the truck, that's why you slow down for conditions. That's why you slow down when it's raining and snowing, or when there's traffic. You just slow the fuck down, right? But if you have other people driving your trucks, you see how crazy these truck drivers drive out here. And if you own the company, you're on the hook for all that shit. So just something to think about. Um, yeah, and other than that, I mean, yeah, dude, when you're sick, you're gonna drive a truck. I'm sick as fuck today. I'm really sick. It sucks, but this is what it is. Read some of these comments. I want to talk about some Silent Prime. Is this live stream still going, or am I paused or something? Limit yourself touching stuff in the truck. Brother, wipe everything down. You're not in the office spreading it. Are we still live? Or did something happen? If we're still live, put a 1 in the chat. Or am I just like talking to myself and you guys are just seeing just like a screen that's just stopped or whatever? Because I just went on a fucking rant, dude. Still unloading the truck. I don't know, dude. I don't know if I'm still live. Well, I'm gonna get up off here then. I don't think I'm live anymore. It says I'm live, but I don't know. So yeah, dude, being sick at work, it sucks. If you want to drive trucks, you're gonna deal with it, and you're just gonna have to fucking salve it out here, man. You got to be a tough cookie to be a truck driver, dude. This job, it requires a lot out of you. It requires you to even drive this thing when you're fucking sick with the cold or the flu, dude. You just got to salve it up and do it. If you absolutely can't do it to the point where you'd be a danger behind the wheel, then don't do it. But just something to think about. Be sure to smash the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel. I got a vlog coming out. I just got to finish editing the shit. Peace out, yo.